Before you pack your bags or call a moving truck, there are 10 critical things you must know about Suffolk, Virginia. The truth is, not knowing this in advance could lead to you being in the wrong part of the city with the wrong commute, or even worse, in a flood zone you didn't even know existed. I've seen many families move to Suffolk not knowing this in advance, thinking they're upgrading their lifestyle, only to come to realization in 6 months that this is just not the right fit, simply because no one shared with them what I'm about to share with you today. Let's make sure that doesn't happen to you as well. This video could save you not only thousands of dollars, but years of regret. Let's dive in. And if you're planning to move to Suffolk, whether that's buying your first home, relocating for work, investing, or selling a property here, let's discuss your specific goals. People every single week reach out to me asking questions, booking calls, or getting help with their next move. And I love that the most. Helping people make confident, informed decisions so they don't feel overwhelmed or stuck. So you can feel free to give me a call or shoot me a text at 757-294-8163, or feel free to use any one of the links down in the description below as well. There's no pressure here at all. I'm just a guy who knows the area and I want to help you get it right. Critical topic number one. Suffolk is way more spread out than many would expect. As a matter of fact, it's massive, and it's going to matter where you live. Suffolk is actually the largest city by land size in the state of Virginia, with 400 square miles of city. When you think about this city, it's going to give you three distinct different feels. And what we're going to do is I'm going to jump in on the map, show you exactly where the lay of the land is, where most neighborhoods will lie within the city of Suffolk, and talk to you about what those distinct features that you get when it comes down to these parts of the areas of Suffolk. So let's jump in on the map. Okay, so let's break down that 400 square miles of living that you're going to have in different areas of Suffolk. So when we break this down, I like to classify it as a north portion of Suffolk, a central portion of Suffolk, and your southwest portion of Suffolk. So let's just jump directly into talking about exactly what that looks like. So with the pen here, I'm going to outline exactly where the northwest portion is. You'll see that'll be around here to this area up to Driver, all the way up to Harborview. And in this area, this is going to be more similar to your Chesapeake, Virginia type of community, where you're going to see is going to be more modern homes, newer construction homes, more waterfront properties, more of a busier commute in this area as well too, because a lot more people live in this area and desire to be in this community as well. So this is going to be your northern portion of Suffolk. And then let's just change the color here and bring on a different color. And then we'll talk about the central part of Suffolk right now, which is going to be more so of your downtown area, your old historic charm feel. There is some new construction communities in this area as well. As a matter of fact, they're still building out a few like the Lake Mead and Preserve, Planter Stations. They're bringing more popular things to that area right now, because this is a highly densely populated area as well in the downtown historic district of Suffolk as well. So this would be your central part of town as well. And if we're talking about just your southwest portion, which is going to be heading down to North Carolina and all the way out to going to Franklin, Virginia, this is going to be your southwest portion of Suffolk, and this is going to be more rural, and this is going to be farther out from all the amenities that you're accustomed to. So if you're accustomed to living with well and septic, this is probably where you're going to be at, because the city water line really doesn't make it that far or extend all the way down there in certain parts of the area, even though as new construction continues to pop up, we're starting to see that be further extended out. But right now, this is where you're going to have that more of an acreage type of feel, where you're going to have the opportunity to just be off the grid a bit in a way, with a 20 to 30 minute commute to some of the best things that you love. I've seen where families have found their affordable dream home in southern portions of Suffolk, and they really didn't realize how big of a commute that they would have to get back to just a normal everyday living, or even for the commute for work. Now, if you're someone who doesn't have a problem with making an hour commute one way or an hour commute back the other way just to get from work to point A or to point B, this may not be a deal breaker for you at all. But realistically, this is where I wanted just to show you that Suffolk is massive, so it really will come down to where you want to live. And what are some of the decision makers that you want to take into consideration? I really think about how far do you really want to get to when it comes to the local amenities. Do you want to be around, if you're that type of individual who wants to be around big box shopping retail, or are you that individual who wants to be simply close to their kids' schools? And sometimes with these high schools, it's only 3 of them in the actual local area, where this could actually push you out a bit further for a busing commute or having to travel to actually get your kids to school. So some of those things are some of the things that you want to take into consideration, and I just wanted to break down how massive Suffolk is. Critical topic number 2 is that you're going to get more house for your money. In comparison to its neighboring cities of Chesapeake and Virginia Beach, Suffolk, Virginia actually is going to see your money go a lot more further when it comes to housing. When it's over in this community, you're going to see that the difference in average sales price and price per square foot is actually going to lead to where you can actually get a bigger house, have a better house, or even a more distinct feel of a home as well. This is actually a great thing for first-time home buyers, military families with VA home loans, or anyone who's just looking to trade in their current residence for a bigger home overall. This community allows for you to actually get the space that you really need, and it actually could be the difference between having a 3-bedroom townhome in Chesapeake or a 2-bedroom condo in Virginia Beach for the same price as a regular detached single-family home in Suffolk, Virginia. We're going to talk about some of the average price points here and talk to you about exactly what the price per square foot was in the end of 2024 and talk to you just about how you can see those differences as it plans out. So let's just jump in and talk about exactly what the stats was for 2024. When you talk about Suffolk, the average price point that actually came through in 2024 was about $406,164, and that actually led to a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 2,115 square feet on average. Now, that also meant that the average per square foot was about $192.12. In comparison to Chesapeake, you'll see that same average sales price was about $433,819, which equated to about a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 2,072 square feet, or average price per square foot of about $210.57. When you talk about that in comparison to Virginia Beach as well, you'll see that their average price per square foot was about $487,684, which led to about a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,902 square feet, and that average price per square foot was about $249.19. I've seen many families want to make that move from condo living in Virginia Beach to Suffolk, and we've helped them make that a seamless transition where they actually going from having that condo to the forever home of a single family detached property that gives them more space so their family don't feel on top of each other and feel compressed. And maybe one of the major trade-offs is that if you want to be part of the hustle and bustle, that might not be the ideal appeal to you, but it may gonna cost you more to have the same type of feel of a home that you can have in Virginia Beach and be closer to all the amenities that you desire. Suffolk is still coming up in those areas, but that home value that a lot of people are taking into consideration makes a significant difference, and they're willing to make the 20 to 30 minute commute. So you have to make the decision on which one is going to be best for you. Comment down below. What matters the most, the local amenities or the home? I want to know what you think. Critical topic number 3, the commute to Norfolk, the shipyard, or any other bases, it can be a grind. Now, even though that you may be getting a larger home, or that you may have a better home, or even just having the space that you want and savings when it comes to not living in Chesapeake or Virginia Beach because you chose Suffolk, you got to think about, is all those savings that you're having in the home, is it going to add up and be well worth it based on the commute that you're going to have? Everyone likes to talk about this word, traffic. When it comes down to it, in certain cases, depends on where you're working or where you're living or where you want to commute to. You may have an hour ride, depends on what part of Suffolk that you live in. Now, don't get me wrong, there are some tips and tricks here that I'm about to show you on the map where you may not have that big of a commute that a lot of people may think that you have. But at the end of the day, you still have to understand if you're going to make that commute consistently each and every day, is the value in the home that you're going to be purchasing really worth it? And figuring out, is Suffolk really the community for you? So let's jump in on the map. I'm going to show you a few things around the 757 where a lot of hot destinations that people like to take into consideration, and show you what I think about when it comes down to these commute times. So let's bring up the pen here, and then we'll get directly into talking about where we're at here. So if you're here in South, this is Central Suffolk. This is going to be Northeast Suffolk, Harborview area. And then everything else back this way is going to be south. Really and truly, if you're in the south region, we'll show that in a second. But if you're on Central Suffolk or downtown Suffolk area, you got a direct commute from the 58 out to many areas. You have the 664, you have 264, and you have the 64 interchange to get you to Chesapeake, Norfolk, or Portsmouth, or even Harborview in this area as well, up here as well. Now, majorly, what makes a big difference here, what a lot of people care about, is their commute to mostly to the shipyards and to the bases. So we're going to focus our attention on that right here quickly. If you're looking if you're looking to live in Northeast Suffolk, you have a fairly simply commute. You can go down to 164 to the Portsmouth actual shipyard. And if you're going to Norfolk, you can take the 164 all the way through the downtown tunnel to the 264 exchange here. Or, so you can come down here to 264, and then you can actually come directly into the downtown Norfolk shipyard. But you can also take the 164, the Midtown tunnel, to get to Norfolk. And if you're actually going towards the Norfolk Naval Base, which a lot of people are assigned there, and if I change the colors so you can see it differently, if you actually were going to be going towards the Norfolk shipyard, Norfolk Naval Station, you'll actually take the 164 down to the Midtown, up Hampton Boulevard, and that will lead you to this area as well. Now, if you was coming from Central Suffolk, downtown area, you'll take the 58, you could take the 264, and you can either go towards the Portsmouth, down the Portsmouth Tunnel, or the downtown tunnel is what they call it, or you can actually cross over on the 58 as well to the 164 to take the Midtown, which that's what I do, and actually take it the same way up to 58. Now, the commutes to Chesapeake or Virginia Beach are going to be vast, right? Depends on what part of these areas you live in. You can actually have somewhere between a 25 to 30-minute commute, depending on the traffic flow for that day. But if you're like in areas like Oceana or Damnet, because they're so much harder to get out of, you actually can be 45 to an hour commute. So if you're going to be living in these areas and assigned to these locations, you definitely want to make sure that you're taking in that commute time considerably. What I really urge you to do is that when you're thinking about actually purchasing a home over in Suffolk, actually do your commute time for heavy traffic times on the Google Maps to kind of understand how that lay of the land will look at that point in time from a commute standpoint. Because you can see sometimes these things can get up to a 50 to an hour and a half. Critical topic number 4 is going to be a slower pace of lifestyle isn't for everyone. Now, if you're moving to Suffolk, Virginia, and you're looking for 24 hours, 7 days a week service, that's not going to be what you're going to find in this location. Things typically shut down in the Suffolk area around 10 to 11 o'clock. So most of your fast, quick eat dining restaurants don't stay open past 11. The local Walmart in downtown Suffolk, not open past 11. If you're going over to the Northeast Suffolk, where you're in Harborview area, all the big box shop retailers over there, closing at 11. So just realize that if you're on a slower pace of lifestyle, you're fine. But if you love the hustle and bustle and you just thinking about, you know what, I want to stay after 2, 3 o'clock in the morning to go get some things, get a little quick snack or whatnot, you may not find those opportunities in this location. And for a lot of people, that's A-okay. This community allows for you to actually relax from the hustle and bustle of the everyday flow that you may find in Norfolk or in Virginia Beach, and still gives you the space and serenity that you're really looking for and desire. So if those things are not a big deal to you, then slower pace of lifestyle is not something that will really hurt you in a big dynamic way. And this field will make you feel like, you know what, the pace that I'm actually looking for with the serenity that I want is going to be in this location. So if you're looking for things like, you know, going out to get quick eats, local restaurant dining facilities, you're going to find those in this area as well, where a lot of mom and pop shops and restaurants are doing quite well and established in the community, and they actually go a long way on value as well too. So slower pace of lifestyle will be critical topic number 4. Critical topic number 5 is that retail and dining is still growing. And the reason why this is important to note is that the growth that we're seeing in Suffolk currently since 2015 has been explosive. And now that that is happening, the retailers are now moving into the local community, and dining facilities are now moving as well too. So your quick eat feels that you was looking for, maybe like making that quick run to Target in the afternoon, where there's still no Target in Suffolk. The closest Target is going to be in Western Branch in Suffolk at the Chesapeake Square Mall. Now, that means that you have to start thinking about some of the things that you want to be close to. Once again, the amenities are going to be a factor for a lot of people. But if you're, that fan who can just say, you know what, I'm okay with having local Thai food, or I'm just okay with just going to the local Chick-fil-A's, or having Panda Express, things of that nature, you're going to be a-okay. But if you're looking for, I want a different type of dining experience each and every night, you may want to consider a different location in the 757 outside of Suffolk, because right now that growth is still happening and those changes are still coming into place. I would imagine in the next 5 years you may see an even bigger retail and dining explosion that we have not yet seen yet, but we're quite not there just yet. And we're still seeing the downtown area, the central Suffolk area, still growing a lot. Well, we're starting to see new grocery store outlets coming in like Publix, and we're starting to see those new developments starting to bring in new demand of actually growing the city. And with that happening, I believe that you are a few years away from where you are being accustomed to saying the hustle and bustle of Suffolk is just right, but not over comparing to any other city in the 757 like Chesapeake or Virginia Beach. So we'll see how this plays out. But right now, if you're looking for those type of experiences, you're maybe not going to find all the ones that you want. Critical topic number 6 is going to be school ratings are going to vary by zone. We're going to use niche.com to talk to you about the schools, because as a local realtor, I can't give you my feedback on the schools. Those are things that you have to do your research on, and I would love to keep my license. But let's just talk about schools for a second. Not all schools are created equal, and in Suffolk, that can have a major impact on your decision. Some Suffolk public schools rank really well, while others fall below the average. It all depends on zoning and is not always obvious. Websites like niche.com offer a starting point, but zoning lines can shift, and you should always verify with the school district. If schools are a priority for you or if resale value matters, this is a conversation you want to have early in your home search. And here's the thing, schools don't just impact your child's education, they also impact your home's resale potential. Homes and schools with higher rated schools typically hold value somewhat better, even in slower markets. That's why I always encourage clients to ask early about school zones and to think long term, especially if you're only planning to stay in the home for a few years. Number 7 is going to be new construction is completely booming in Suffolk, Virginia, but resale still has the gems in my opinion. Now, when we talk about new construction, I know that if you can get you a brand new home, be the first to live in it, not have to worry about what anyone may have done to the home, upgraded the way that you want to, those are the things that people desire and dream of. And quite simply, that's why a lot of people move to Suffolk, Virginia. But I also want you to know that resale still has gems and quality there as well too. When you're thinking about communities in Northeast Suffolk or Central Suffolk, or even building out your new home in Southwest Suffolk, you can find some beautiful homes that have already been established in these communities as well too, or in the surrounding areas of Suffolk. I really think that if you really give yourself an opportunity to see what some of these modern builds had prior to the new construction boom that we're now seeing, you may find value in having the space. Like for me, essentially, when I moved into my new construction home that we have, which we are the second owners of, you'll know that it's actually the garages are a little bit smaller. And knowing that the garage is a little bit smaller, that means that you don't have the space to actually store things that you want to actually build out and park your vehicles in these homes. But if you get your resale home, you may find a bigger lot, huger lot. And let's be honest, new construction builds, they're trying to get as many homes in the neighborhood as they possibly can to get the most money back from the build that they're making. Now, when you're thinking about these resale gems that I'm talking about, what you really want to take into consideration is your fit. Are you one that has the budget to actually modernize the things that you want to do? Or are you okay with having a bigger space and then taking your time and modernizing over a few years? If this is somewhere you're thinking like, in the next 2-3 years, I may not be here that long because you're only here on short military orders, I can understand why the fit may not make sense to get you a resale gym that may give you a headache in the beginning till you get it to where you want to be at, versus having the comfort and tranquility that you want to move into right away. But there's many neighborhoods that fit either mold. Whether you want the new construction or you want the resale, you can find something that works for you. And this is why you want to work with a grade A realtor like myself. So give me a call if you're thinking about it either way. New construction, I can put you in the right hands with the right builders to make sure you get the right details that you need. But if you're looking for a resale, I can identify with you the right neighborhoods that might fit for you and the homes that can give you the ideal fit for whatever scenario there may be. Critical topic number 8 is going to be natural beauty and flood zones. Don't be surprised when you move out to Suffolk that you're going to be taken away by some of the breathtaking views that this city has produced, whether that's in your neighborhood with lake views, waterfront views, having the beautiful parks that it definitely have, or even just having the opportunities just to walk some of the trails that this city actually has to offer. When you think about Suffolk, Virginia, you're not going to find anything that matches it when it comes down to beauty. Even in Virginia Beach, you definitely have the waterfront, you have the ocean front. I get it, but when you're talking about greenery and serenity, this is where you're going to find it at. Now, on the flip side of that, though, you also got to be worried about flood zones, just like any other city. Now, Suffolk is not below water level or anything of that sort, but you definitely want to make sure that you're looking at the FEMA maps, the flood maps, to make sure that the part of the city that you're actually in the neighborhood that you're actually in, where your home is going to be sitting, is not classified in the flood zone. I've seen many buyers who thought they found their dream home, didn't realize it was in the flood zone, and then they started looking at how much extra it was going to be tacked on to their payment that they would have to make for insurance, that they realized that it just was not in the budget. So prioritize making sure that you're looking at the flood maps to understand exactly what the risk is that you can have when it comes down to what your payment could be, and how much it can actually be after the fact as well too. So I think those are things that you really want to take into consideration, especially if you're living in the old historical district of Suffolk. Like Central Suffolk has these pits where it definitely can flood way more than you expect. Like they're still trying to build the infrastructure and make sure that the drainage is working better. But in certain situations, a massive nor'easter may come through that we typically have every 2 to 3 years, and that flooding can actually be impacted. So just make sure that you're paying attention to those as you're going forward as well too. Let's go to topic number 9 is that agricultural roots still run deep. You're not just moving to a city, you're moving into a place with real southern roots, and that shows up everything from the scenery to the culture. Suffolk still has active farmland, equestrian properties, and one of the most iconic small town festivals in the region, Peanut Festival. You'll see tractors, feed stores, and even goats as you drive through some neighborhoods. It's part of what gives this area its down-to-earth charm, and something many people grow to love. And the rural identity isn't just visual, it's cultural too. Don't be surprised if you find yourself at a local pumpkin patch in the fall or driving behind a tractor on the way home from work. Suffolk roots are proud and the community celebrates that. Even events like Peanut Fest, the Taste of Suffolk, and Downtown Farmers Market give you a hometown energy that's different from anywhere else in Hampton Roads. Let's talk about critical topic number 10. Suffolk is not for everyone, but it might just be the perfect fit for you. The reason why this is going to be the most critical topic that we want to discuss is because it's going to make a difference between what type of lifestyle that you really and truly want. If you want that busier life, Northeast Suffolk may fit that a bit for the most part, but if it's not to the extreme that you want it to, then you definitely don't probably want to move to Suffolk. But really and truly what you can find here is that you can take advantage of the lifestyle that Suffolk provides, but still have access to the local amenities of the other cities, because on the south side of town, everything is no more than 45 minutes away if you live in central or northeast Suffolk. Now, if you live in southwest Suffolk, you probably have a larger commute, but you've already decided that was the bigger factor to you anyway. Now, to me, what I always like to tell clients is, if you can get access to these amenities, if your commute to work is not really that big of a deal, and you can still get the life that you really want to desire in the local community of Suffolk, would it not be the right choice for you? Especially if you can get more home for less value than you would in Virginia Beach, in an ever-growing city right now. Virginia Beach is overpopulated, let's just be honest. But Suffolk, Virginia is still growing. It still has legs to grow. And you're starting now to see the shift where retailers are now moving into the local community to actually grow the community with more job market opportunities, and just actually giving more lifestyle choices as well too to the local community. So with all that being said, Suffolk may not just be the one for you, it may be the choice for a lot of individuals as well too. So whether you're looking for new construction or whether you're thinking about resale value in the local community as well, those are going to continually steadily increase as we see the communities continue to populate. Overall, what I really think that you should take into consideration is just the value. When we actually made the move to Suffolk from Suffolk, Virginia, from Norfolk, Virginia, what we really took into consideration was we going to move to Virginia Beach, or were we actually going to move to Suffolk? And the major differences was just what we could actually get in a feel of a home where our family of 5 did not have to feel like we was overcrowded on top of each other and running out of space. So we wound up making that decision, and it was an ideal decision because we ended up with a newer home versus the quality of home that we could have found in Virginia Beach for the same exact price point. So for us, it was a simple choice. We're only about 20 to 30 minutes away from any of the local amenities that we want outside of Chesapeake, and go all the way over to Virginia Beach is about a 40-minute commute. So for us, if we're going out there, we know it's a destination day for us. So it has made our lifestyle way more vast and a lot more simpler, and I couldn't be happier with the choice. But like I said before, you have to make that decision for yourself, but I'm pretty sure if you gave Suffolk the chance, it may be just a fit for you. So if you're planning to move to Suffolk, and whether that's buying your first home, relocating here from work, investing, or selling the property here, feel free to give me a call and let's discuss your specific goals, because once again, I would love to give you assistance in any way possible with no pressure. So just give me a call at 757-294-8163, or feel free to use any one of the links in the description below, and I'll catch you in the next video or around town.